What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's having a great day. I just got home from work. It is Monday and we're going to see if we can get the motor ripped out of this thing. As you guys saw in the last video, I begun taking it apart and got a little bit of progress made, and today we're going to see how much further we can get. Now that the top is pretty much all taken care of, I do need to go ahead and drain the oil and the transmission fluid. If you guys remember from last video, I did drain the coolant. As you can see, there's a little bit of coolant on the floor. I cleaned it up as best I could, but yeah, pretty much everything up here is done. And besides the AC, I just realized I gotta disconnect the AC lines and depressurize the whole system. But now I gotta take off the two front wheels so I can get the axles off eventually. And then basically everything underneath the motor or underneath the car, and then just the header. And then this thing should be ready to come out. So without further ado, let's get into it and see what we can get done. All right, let's see what this oil looks like. Hopefully it has oil. I mean, it should. I put some in, so. Oh, wow. That is not good. Look how shiny it is. Oh my goodness. That is not good. Oh, wow. I don't know if I've ever seen any oil that bad. Wow. Look at this. This is from the end of the drain plug. If you guys can tell. Look at that. All right, so it's not as bad as it looked when it was coming out. I mean, obviously you don't want to see any kind of, glistening in your oil when you drain it, but you can kind of see along the whole edge that there's definitely metal shavings and little pieces of metal. As you saw on the drain plug, there's definitely oil. So like I told you guys, I mean, this motor was making noise, so that definitely checks out. But now that we got the oil drained, we can continue on with taking everything else apart. So if I were to keep this car, one of the first things I would definitely do is get a 5-lug conversion kit instead of, obviously the stock 4-lug. I just think there's so many more options for wheels, and the platform's a lot bigger in the 5-lug world than 4-lug, with better specs and obviously more wheel companies having 5-lug wheels instead of 4-lug. Now that we have the wheel off, we can see that this is pretty much stock and untouched. I mean, these axles look pretty clean. They might be new, I'm not too sure. Both sides look fairly intact. It definitely has some coilovers, and it has some nice overspray right here from painting the subframe. But other than that, I mean, I would say it's pretty well maintained. I mean, obviously the surface rust on the rotors, nothing too crazy. The motor looks clean, not like there's any major oil leak or anything like that. The belt looks good. So whatever the problem is or the issue is definitely on the inside of the motor. I hate this thing. All right, so he's working on the header. Last 2 bolts on that, I believe, and then the subframe should be good. And then all we have is gonna be the axles, and I think that's it. And then I have to disconnect this AC, and like I said, drain the system. I don't think it has AC anything in it, but I'm gonna double check. And then we should be good to go ahead and get the motor out of this thing. just like that, the motor is ready to be pulled out. We have AC lines disconnected off the AC compressor down there. You can't see. The header is off. Subframe is off. Transmission's drained. Axles are completely out. We got one laying over here and then one over on that side. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get everything mounted up and then start unbolting the motor from the motor mounts on this side and then this side, and we will be lowering the motor down onto the ground, and hopefully we will be able to pull it out from this side. We're gonna see. It's gonna be a tight fit, but we'll see. There you guys have it. Within, a little bit over an hour of working, upon, a little over an hour the other night, we do have the motor out. And actually, we noticed when we pulled it out, it has an upgraded Hasport mount on the rear, and then the front mount and the side two mounts right there, and then over here are actually innovative. So they are not factory mounts, which could be a little bit of a upselling point when I do sell it, but not too big of a deal. And then over here, this is actually, it's covered in some stuff, but this is actually the motor that we're going to be throwing in. This is an EP3. This is a motor originally out of an EP3, and then we have somewhere over there's an EP3 transmission that's going to be going in as well. So this is going to be used for another car, and then I will be selling that transmission. Like I said, it's a 6-speed with LSD, so a little bit better, a little bit more of an upgraded transmission. This car definitely doesn't need it since it is going to be staying stock. So yeah, guys, glad we were able to get the motor out. Definitely a big jump in the process of getting this thing out of here. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up today's video. Obviously, next video, we will be beginning to throw the other motor in and getting this thing on its way out of here so we can fill this spot with another car. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.